Good morning. Welcome to the show. My name is Pablo Farnan. I hope that you're doing well. I'm very excited about today's episode. I actually have a friend that I really want you to meet. What's funny about that though is that I'm actually kind of meeting them for the first time myself. So let's do this together.
Sorry, I was like, you just caught me running into a tree. How are you? How's it going? Good, Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you, good.
Dude, I don't know. We'll see.
No.
It's a little wet right now.
That's not. Ooh. Did I just kick him?
How's the dog dish out here?
There's dogs out here too? What is this town?
I don't know. Yeah. So, we just ate at this place called Greenmouth Cafe. Was it Greenmouth?
Yes, Greenmouth.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was really good, really healthy.
Super
nice
healthy.
Smoothies. Like more healthy than I ever know me to be.
Is my shirt green in your lens?
Is it? No. That's the focus. Look, see here? This is my friend Derek, which is funny that you're meeting him for the first time because I kind of am meeting him for the first time today too. But listen to this. So this guy comes to our church, Faith Church. I'm drumming that day, and then out of nowhere, this guy comes up to me, with not just this guy, but our pastor. And he's like, hey, there's this guy that says he's a drummer, and he just kind of came to the front and said that he's looking for community. My pastor brings me over to this guy, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And so we started talking, and it's just funny that he's from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, man.
He's here. What is it that you're doing here?
I'm playing drums at Dorney Park for the summer.
So if you've never been to Pennsylvania, you should come to Dorney Park.
Come on out, check out the show.
And so he's here drumming for the summer, and he happened to come to our church the one day, which is unbelievable. And then all of a sudden, now we're having coffee and everything, which is amazing. So
right. Having healthy food, told you it was gonna be good.
Healthy food and healthy conversation, which is good too.
Yeah.
And then you also do a lot of church stuff, you said as well, right?
Yeah, so I play at a few churches back in Nashville. If you're ever around there, come check out Crosspoint, come check out Brentwood Baptist. Really great communities. Come up to the front. Hopefully I'll be drumming that weekend.
Dude, that's it. Like, I love creating friendships with people that are from other parts of the country and even the world as well. And so it's really cool that we are able to connect. We're able to have some healthy food. I'm excited to see what this guy's doing, not only with music right now, but also with music in the future as well. So I'm excited about it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much.
Dude,
thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Dude.
I'll see you soon.
Dude, I'll see you soon.
Good to see you, man.
All right, you see this here wedding right here? I've been hard at work on this wedding the entire day after me and my friend Derek met. And before I get to Derek, I just have to tell you, I am so hype right now, so excited. You know that I'm always excited, but I'm like, inspiration over. I'm so excited about this wedding right here. Partially because it's actually friends of mine that actually hired us to film the wedding, and I got to actually be the main shooter on the wedding. So the entire day I was like mentally like putting in my head like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that. Ooh, that shot's gonna do this for that part of the oh man, like that speech is gonna blah 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 blah, all the things. I just like, and the fact that now it's finally like on a timeline. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a filmmaker, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like it always feels really good to create, but sometimes it just feels good to get like what you were thinking, like the vision that you had, to get that like on a timeline and start making that cut. Like yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna finish that up tonight. But in the meantime, I did want to talk to you about Derek. So it's funny because I just met the guy today. Well, not today. Like I said, I met him at church. He came to the front and we ended up starting to talk. And then I was like, dude, we got to get food, coffee while you're here in town. And he was only here for 3 months span. And so I was like, we got to make this happen sooner than later. Today was finally that day. But here's what I find so inspirational about the simple thing that Derek did. And if you're gonna hear anything out of today's vlog, I want you to hear this little bit right here. See, what Derek did was he was out of his element. He was not in his hometown. He wasn't even in his home state. He came to our church looking for community while he's here on a job. Legitimately, a 22-year-old kid Googled a church nearby, found Faith Church, came to Faith Church. He liked what he saw. He came to the front and literally went to our lead pastor that day and was like, listen, I'm looking for community. It's like, who does that? So I had a super successful friend of mine once tell me to never be okay with the C word. The C word is comfortable. Don't ever be okay with being comfortable, because when you're comfortable, you let things slide. When you're comfortable, you don't get things done like you could if you were uncomfortable. And I think all of us get these moments where we have internal dialogue where we're like, ooh, maybe I could do this, but then you start to come up with a bunch of reasons as to why you shouldn't, or why it might fail. But Derek, in this example, you know, he was, I don't know if he was comfortable necessarily, but he definitely took a step. You could easily just come, stay in the back and leave and not talk to anybody, but instead he went to the front, and not just to anybody, but he went to the lead pastor of our church and said, hey, I'm looking for community. I like what you guys are doing around here. And it may seem simple, maybe like, oh, well, Pablo, he just came to the front and just said hi. No, I get it. It's simple, but it's so profound if you really break it down. And I would say 9 times out of 10, people would do the exact opposite of what Derek did, and they wouldn't step out in confidence. They would just kick back and let life happen. But instead, you gotta be more like Derek, and you gotta step out while always keeping in mind that God has a plan for you. And you should always seek Him first. He's got the roadmap, so you might as well talk to Him.